Alrighty, what's up party people? In this video, I just had a one-on-one coaching client leave my house. This is a person I'm actively coaching. He found me on YouTube, he goes to the gym with me, stuff like that. We've been working for the last couple of weeks on, he became an insurance agent, he wasn't making sales, and so we've been covering his sales process, stuff like that. And I've noticed he tends to revert back to old habits, just like most of us humans do. However, this one little tweak is gonna add massive amounts of revenue to his bank, make his wife respect him more, make his kids respect him more, and give him overall a better sense of self. And where a lot of this comes from is all of his conversations, he sounded like he was just down and uninterested and stuff like that. It's like when you go into a sales call like this, especially insurance, people tune you out, okay? It sounds robotic, it sounds monotonous, it sounds scripted, and it sounds like you just don't care, okay? And so that was essentially my advice to him. Is I showed him videos of me selling insurance over the past couple of years, and I said, what do you think is different in these conversations? It's like, you care. Bingo, okay? People know what they need to be doing. They just need to be brought to it, okay? You have to gently guide them to their own conclusions like that. And because it was his idea and not mine, even though it was my idea, I just had to get him to realize it, he'll actually go do something with it, because now I'll put him in a state of incongruity where he is not who he says he is unless he does what he just came to the realization of. He says he knows stuff, but you can't say you know something unless you do something with what you know. And so my advice to him essentially was just fix your communication. Dude, you're a fully grown man. Feel free to take up some space, okay? When I talk, you can hear my conversation echo through the corners and the halls of the room, and it's not to sound facetious, cocky, or arrogant. If that's how it comes across, that's on you, okay? It's that I'm a fully grown man, and this is just how I enjoy talking. My communication is very effective. It gets across, okay? And in sales, all sales is a form of communication. Okay, if you look at it at the end of the day, sales is nothing more than a category, a subset of communication. And there's a big problem when what you say is not what the other person hears. Your message has a mismatch to it. It's incongruent. Okay, and when people detect that, they reject it because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel in alignment with what they're trying to do, where they're trying to get to, what they're trying to accomplish. Okay, so when you realize. And the problem is, I got them to, like, we all have these internal representations. When you see an event, a picture comes to mind, and that's what dictates how you feel and what you do. All right? Based on the information that you took from that event. And our descriptions of the events are not the events themselves, okay? Your descriptions, the words you use are not the event in and of itself, okay? That feeling you have when you look towards your kids are not the words you use to describe how it feels when you look at your kids in utter approval and gratitude and love and like, wow, I can't believe I birthed these little humans, right? And so he looked at these people like they were just numbers, like he was going to be rejected. And so he behaved in a manner that was conducive towards that belief, that internal representation, the picture that he saw in his head. And so he got rejection in numbers that he didn't like. And so simply by flipping the frame and treating these people like they were real people, like they had real problems, and I had to get him to realize that. I said, what do you notice about all of my sales calls that were successful? What do you think the difference was between what I'm doing and what you're currently doing? Why are you not getting results where I do? And he's like, you actually care. I was like, yeah. And because of that, because I treat the people on the under end of the phone like people, because I know what's going to happen to them if they die without a policy, they buy one from me because I treat them as such. You see, and when you do that, you create a room in people's head with your words. And that is called the environment. And the worst thing you can do as a human is be out of alignment with the environment. Okay? If you're eating blueberries thousands of years ago and you go into a community where everyone's eating green berries, you tend to adopt that behavior because it's kept them alive. They clearly know what they're doing. And over there, the blueberries could be poisonous, which is why no one eats them. And so if you go over there and you eat the blueberries and you die, you were outside of alignment with the environment. You see, the only reason humans ever really change is because of the environment they are in. So rather than trying to facilitate change and trying to convince people, I've never or any of this stuff through a sales call, okay? When I did, it was because I sucked. All of it, all these tactics and tricks and all that stuff, sure, it's great, but when you just look at communication for what it really is, it's an attempt to get a message across in an effective manner. It's, how do I communicate this? For what purpose am I trying to communicate it? What is the intention? What message am I trying to relay? Is it, hey, this is urgent. Your family is fucked without this policy. Do you understand that? Instead of me saying that, I asked them questions about it because I know that, but I need them to know that. I need to know that. I need the customer to know that. And when you fix this stuff, watch how many more sales you make because you just came across as a real fucking person rather than some scripted up fucking bullshit that someone who's never sold a fucking policy fucking gave you. These people who just hand you scripts and tell you to recruit all of your family and your fucking friends are retarded. Okay, I know it's a cruel word, but guess what? It's true. And you know, I live in reality. If I jump off of a building in Austin, Texas, or Tokyo, it doesn't matter. Gravity's going to pull me down. Reality is not going to be changed. You can negotiate it with it. Sure, you can change the environment you're in, but you're not going to change the laws and the rules that govern humanity. Okay? If it sounds scripted, if it sounds forced, people are not going to fucking buy from you. People are not going to want to join your agency, no matter what it is. So instead of trying to learn all these clever and cute fucking sales tactics and tricks and shit that just are trendy, but they're built for a world that died yesterday. Okay? That's no longer the world we live in. We've never been more connected. We have these devices, our phones. We've never been more connected. Look around you. People are always on their fucking phones. Yet we've never felt more alone. And I'm telling you, when you care enough to connect, when you care enough to communicate in an effective manner, people look at you differently. They have to. Because you treat yourself differently. In life, people do not treat you how they wish to be treated. In life, people treat you how you treat yourself. Okay? Because the way you act, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak sets boundaries for others to operate in. It's called your frame for a reason. Okay? So just understand that. If you want to make more insurance sales, just act like you fucking care. Just act like you care. And eventually, you will start to do it. Say, how would I say this if I really cared about them? What do I want them to know? Why should they do this over anything else? And when you approach it from that manner, you become charismatic, you become influential, and you don't have to persuade anymore. You don't have to get better at being more obvious. Okay, because that's what all these other agents and salespeople are trying to do. All they do when they spend $16,000 on some fucking sales program, it just makes them better at being obvious. They're just standing up with everyone else who is already standing up. It just makes you more rejectable. Okay? The best influence you can have is creating environments where that action happens naturally. What do I have to say that makes this happen naturally? What environment do I need to create? What behavior do I need to showcase, portray, exude that makes this happen naturally? For this guy, I had to tell him, hey, every time you fall back into your old habits, realize that the story you need to tell yourself is that your wife's going to leave you, you're not going to be successful, and your kids aren't going to respect you. And when you do what you know you should be doing, your wife's going to be heels over head in love with you. You're going to respect yourself. You're going to have massive amounts of success, and your kids are going to think you're a superhero. Which story do you want? Which one do you want? And that's it. That's it, my dear friend. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you, a lot of you getting these sales scripts and all that shit, I get it. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. These people have built massive companies selling sales training and all that shit. But let's just look at the reality. People, and I'm going to say something you know is true. You've heard this before, but you've never had it explained to you in this way. Okay? People hate feeling sold, but people love to buy. We all know that, right? People hate feeling sold, but people love to buy. So why do all these people teach sales training? People hate feeling sold. Why are we teaching fucking sales training? Why are we not teaching buyers training? How to create buying environments. And if you want to know how to do that, I have a special program for you in the description you can go check out. Go check that out. It's really cool. And you'll learn how to create outcome-based environments where what you want to happen happens naturally because of what you say. All right? You cannot both know what to say and be broke. It's impossible. Mathematically impossible. All right, so go check that out, and I have another video for you if you want to massively increase your insurance sales, make more money, and find a lot more respect for yourself. Go click it, it's on the screen right now.